Thursday morning, and welcome to Mindful Movement with AARP Alabama. I'm Margie Curry, and I'm today's host. And our yoga instructor today is Becca Impello. And we're so glad to have Becca with us today. And if you have any questions for Becca during the time, please don't forget to put them into the chat box, the chat section. We want to remind you that AARP is empowering people to change how they live as they age. AARP is a nonpartisan 501c4 organization with more than 420,000 members in Alabama. AARP's role is to advocate on their behalf, all of them without any regard to politics. Since the pandemic began, AARP Alabama has continued to provide opportunities for people to stay engaged in their homes. Mindful Movement provides an opportunity for you to keep moving in the safety of your home. Becca, you ready out there with our
Hey,
turkey moves today?
Good morning, Margie. How are you doing today?
Doing great today.
Good. I'm happy to be here. It's Thanksgiving week.
Thanksgiving week, getting ready for that turkey.
That's right. Me too. So, and I bet a lot of our viewers are. I hope they're taking a little bit of time to take care of themselves before they start taking care of the turkey and everybody else. So,
that's a good point. Very good point. Tell our viewers what you're going to be working on today.
Well, today I thought we'd just do a good all-around movement practice. So we'll just make sure we move our whole body. We're going to do everything either seated in a chair or standing up and using a chair. So any kind of a sturdy hardback chair, like from your kitchen or your dining room table, without arms is preferred, but you could probably make something else work. And then we're going to do a gratitude meditation at the end. So we'll get still, we'll get quiet, and I'll lead you just in some ways to approach thinking about being grateful for our listeners today, our viewers.
Sounds wonderful. Everyone, please remember that before you begin any exercise routine, you should consult with your physician to be sure it's safe to participate. And if you have any questions for Becca, please make sure you put them in the chat. All right, Becca, let's go ahead and get started.
All right. Thanks, Margie. Yeah. So like Margie said, if you have questions for me regarding the yoga and the stuff that we're doing in these sessions, please feel free to drop them in. I'm happy to answer questions. Again, my background is as a physical therapist and a registered yoga teacher. I'm also a yoga therapist, and I've been practicing over 20 years, helping bring, accessible mindful movement practices to people for all kinds of reasons. So let's go ahead and get started today. We're going to sit in our chair, get comfortable, get supported. So you want to scoot back and use the back of your chair for a little support. Let your feet rest on the floor. It's okay to wear socks or shoes if you want to. I've got my feet bare today, but you may want to keep them covered, and that's all right as well. All right, so we're just going to sit tall, drop those arms down to the sides, and start with a little loosening up that head and neck and shoulders. So just start turning your head side to side. And just see if you can check in and notice, how does this feel? How does your whole body feel? How are you doing at this point in the week? It can be a busy week for folks. It can sometimes be a stressful week, but also maybe a joyful week if you get to see friends and family, eat a lot of your favorite foods. So we want to bring all those things in and be mindful, be aware of them. All right, next time your head goes over to the right side, I want you to pause. And then I want you to drop that chin down towards your collarbone and then slowly bring it across the chest. And just bring that chin all the way over to your left shoulder and then reverse direction. Let it drop back down into the collarbone across the chest. All the way over to that right side. We'll do that again. Roll it down, across the chest, and then back over, and pick that head up. Good. All right, now let's do the shoulders. I want you to start to roll those shoulders. Try and bring them forward. Arms come a little forward, and then up towards your ears, and then back and down. So go slow so you can really feel all four of those points, sort of all four of those spots around this circle. Forward, up, back, and down. Now let's go the other direction a few times. Go back, up, forward, and down. Again, back, up, forward, and down. One more time. Good. Now turn your palms forward with your arms at your sides. Go ahead and bend your elbows so your fingertips just come up to your shoulders. And let's make some circles with the elbows now. So you just draw in a circle out to your side or sort of somewhat in front of you with your elbows. Bring them as far forward. Maybe they even touch each other in front of the chest. And then up, back, and down. A couple more of those. If you need to scoot forward, get away from the back of the chair so you have a little more room to move, you can. Good. Let's do 2 more of these. Maybe take a big breath. Inhale. Exhale. Like I said, we're going to try to just get our whole body stretched and moving today. All right, drop those arms down to your sides. Circle your wrists. Just make some nice, slow, big circles with your hands. Maybe there's some pops and creaks in those wrist bones. So we'll just kind of get those pops and creaks out, go the other direction. Good. Now let's turn the palms forward, sweep the arms out to the side as high as you can comfortably go. So anytime you need to make your movement smaller, that's fine. And then exhale, bring the hands down in front of the heart. And then sweep them out to the side again and up. You can look up at that point if it's comfortable on your neck. And then as you exhale and bring your hands down, tuck your chin down. Let's do that again. Big breath in. Sit tall, lengthen up through that spine, just as you're lengthening up through your hands. Try to get that crown of the head up towards the ceiling. Let's do 3 more of these. Big breath in. Exhale. It could be through the nose or through the mouth. 2 more times. One more. Now pause here with the hands in front of the heart. Interlace your fingers. So we're going to interlace those fingers. Get them kind of tight to the knuckles. And then turn the palms forward. It's going to stretch the hands, the fingers, the wrists. Don't push too much on your knuckles. Try to push with the heels of your hands to help get your wrists a little stretch. And don't overdo any pressure on your fingers. All right. Now let's go ahead and just slightly round that upper back. Push forward. Let your chin drop. And then slowly reach up, bring those hands overhead or as far up as you can go. Get nice and long through both sides of the waist. And take a little side stretch over. Good. Bring it back to center. Let those arms come down. Go ahead and give those hands another little shake out. All right, good. Now we'll take a little twist. Bring one hand in front. Take it across to the opposite knee or thigh. Bring that other arm out to the side and take it back behind you. And then if it's possible, let it rest on the top of that chair back there if it fits. Sit up nice and tall, right up into the chest. Maybe start to turn that head. Try to look behind your chair a little bit. Good. On an inhale, unwind it, come back to front. Sit tall. Take that other hand across to that opposite knee. Extend the other arm out to the side and then take it back behind you. Let it drop down to rest on the chair. Keep pressing firm into the feet. Lift up into the chest. Maybe turn that head a little further around. Good. And then bring it back to center. Good. Hands to the heart. Sit tall. We're going to pull back and get that arch in the upper back. So shoulder blades squeeze, elbows pull back and down, and chin can lift. And then exhale, push forward. And you can roll just gently back into your seat, into your buttocks, your hips. And then again, pull and tilt a little more forward towards the front of the chair. Exhale, push. Let's do a couple more of these. Let's try to take some nice deep breaths now. Inhale through the nose. Then your exhale could be through the nose or could be through the mouth. Now, it's okay if your movements are a different size than mine. You might be making something a little smaller. movement wise, or even perhaps a little bit bigger. So your choice on that, or really your body is going to hopefully tell you what feels right. Let's do 2 more of these. Pull and push. 1 more. And push. Shake those arms down. All right, let's loosen up the legs just a little bit and then we'll get standing. Sit tall, maybe hold on to the chair if you want, and let's take one leg and start to bend and straighten that knee. And we want to just get this knee lubricated, get it moving. So go slow enough that you're controlling the movement. You're not just flinging that leg around. You're kicking as straight as you can get, bending back with a pull as far back as you can bend. That knee joint has some limitations or some arthritis or some pain. Just go smaller if you need to. Good, let's hold that foot forward so we can loosen up the foot and the ankle. Give me a point and a flex. Good, and then a couple circles. Go the other way. And then drop that leg down. Now I want you just to pause for a moment and notice. Notice how that leg that you were just working has a little more warmth to it. Maybe it feels like it's slightly different size or shape than your other leg. And just your sense of it is heightened, is changed. This is a good thing just to pause and notice for your nervous system's benefit. All right. Now we'll switch to the other side. Bend and straighten this knee, slow and controlled. Push it out as straight as you can get it. Bend it back as far as it'll let you go. You're sitting up tall, maybe holding on to the chair for a little bit of support. Good. And hold that foot forward. Let's loosen up the foot and the ankle. Point and flex. Point and flex. Again, you're going slow so that you have a little more control and tend to make a bigger movement when you go slow. Now some circles. And the other way. And then let's drop that leg down and pause again. Just notice again that sensation, that feeling of work or fatigue or warmth in that leg. All right, it's time to stand up. So come on out of your chair. We're still going to use the chair. This is a really effective way for all abilities, or lots of different abilities, to get a good movement practice, okay? Now, you certainly could do a lot of these things that we do in the chair down on the floor, and if you prefer that, you can go ahead and do that. I'm going to show everything today on the chair, and I encourage you to give it a try. The chair is just a great prop, a great way to get a few stretches in without having to get down on the floor. All right, so we're going to start by facing the chair with our feet, a good foot and a half or so away from the chair. So you're not standing right up against it. And then let's bend over and place the hands in the seat of the chair. This gives us what I like to call a tabletop position. Okay, so now our back body is sort of flat, close to like a table. We're going to do our rounding of the back so we can stretch the spine. So up towards the ceiling, nice and round, drop the head down. And then reverse that so that we take it into a little bit of a back bend or a little bit of a sway. Notice that I bend my knees to help me get enough room to lift my tailbone up here. And then round it back up towards the ceiling with the spine. Flatten it out. Good, so get that rhythm going and then try to synchronize your breathing. Inhale as you flatten your back, as you lift your head and your chest and your tail. And then try and exhale as you pull your belly in, you tuck your tailbone down and you drop your head. Let's do about 5 more. Inhale to arch and exhale to round. Good, 3 more. Last one. All right, now let's bring the left foot towards the chair and the right foot back. Now you're going to have some choices here. If you like having the security and the help with your balance, then you want to keep your hands on the chair. If you feel pretty secure on your feet in this position, you could bring your hands up and come up to your hips. So either way, stay on the chair for some support, come up to the hips. But let's see if we can move those legs a little bit. That front leg is really the one. Straighten the knee, bend the knee. I'm going to keep that back heel nice and anchored. Try to push into that back heel to get a good stretch in that calf. Good. 2 more times. Good. Now we're going to hold that position with the front knee bent. Now remember, if you want to keep your hands on the chair the whole time, then you're going to stay right there. If you're okay letting go, try taking the arms up. And then inhale, back and down. Inhale up. You can certainly do this with one arm if you felt like you needed to keep some security on the chair, but you don't need both arms. Then you could do your arm circles with one arm at a time. Let's do 3 more. Last one. All right, everybody puts their hands back on the seat of the chair, or if you happen to be down on the floor, you're down on the ground with the hands, and take it back with both legs. Now walk those legs back a pretty generous amount and keep your knees bent, okay? So a little bit of a bend to the knees, and then see if you can lengthen out from your hands to your hips. Might let your head just fall between your arms. This is a version of downward facing dog. We do it using the chair because it makes it just really nice and accessible to lots of people, and it feels good no matter what, okay? All right, and then we're coming back up and bringing that right foot towards the chair. So we're doing our same lunge, but on the other side. So you have that same choice once you get your feet where you want them. Leave your hands on the chair or bring your hands up to your hips. And then we straighten that front knee, bend that front knee. Good. Couple of times back and forth, loosening up the hip and the knee joint a little bit more, anchoring that back foot, that back heel to get a calf stretch. Good. Now we're going to leave that front knee bent. All right, you have that option to do one or both arms, or keep your hands on the chair if you prefer. We'll take those circles. Reach up, circle the arms back and down. Reach up, circle back and down. Three more. Remember, you could be doing one arm. If you did one arm on the other side, just try to switch so that that other arm gets some movement. Last 2. Last 1. And then hands come back into the chair. We're going back to our downward facing dog position. So both feet are back. They're about a hip's distance apart. Hips push back. Soften your knees as much as you need to in order to feel like you can really push back with those hips. And then maybe you have some room to straighten the knees some. Then take 2 or 3 more breaths here. Good. Now we're going to do a little movement from here. We're going to shift forward, bringing our shoulders to the chair, straight arms, straight legs, straight spine. This is our plank pose. We'll hold that plank a breath or 2. And then push back. Soften those knees as needed. Push the hips back. Get long with the arms. And then inhale, shift back forward. My strong arms push away from the chair, and then hips go back. 2 more. Shift to plank. And press the hips back. 1 more. Shift to plank. and push the hips back. Good. And then walk it in. Just walk your feet closer to the chair. Come on up all the way. Stand tall. Roll those shoulders. Now, we're still going to use the chair as needed, but let's turn it around so that we've got the taller back of the chair where you can touch or hold as needed. All right. So we're going to start by stepping out wide, and you just have one foot, one hand close to the chair, and as needed, you hold on. If you don't need to hold on, then it's just there for later. All right. So the legs are out wide. I want you to turn the legs out just a little bit. Okay, sort of like a plie position. And then we're going to take it right on down into a little bit of a squat. If you don't need to hold on to the chair, you can take those arms up and out to the side. And then we're going to straighten those knees and reach up and take it back down into that squat. And then straighten the knees and reach up and take it back down. 2 more times. Take it up and down. 1 more up and down. Good. Now let's turn the feet to face forward. Still out wide, but the toes facing forward. Remember, you can hold on to this chair as needed. We're going to fold forward right at the hip creases at the tops of the thighs. And just fold forward until you feel a little stretch on the backs of the legs. And then come on back up. Fold forward. Feel that stretch in the backs of the legs. And come on back up. You're keeping that spine nice and straight. 2 more times. Folding forward. Knees might be a little bit bent. That's okay. 1 more time. Good. Now, staying upright, turn those toes out just a little bit, not as far as we did for our squat. And then I want you just to go side to side, any amount. This might be a little small shift. Okay, if your knees are a little, tender or, not sure about this, make it small. If it feels okay for your body, you can go a little bigger. Good. Now bring it back to center. Turn those feet and walk them in close. Get them close together. Take one arm up, stretch up and reach it over. So again, if you need that chair to hold on to, you keep holding on. And then bring it up, back to center. Now, if you need that chair, you're going to want to turn around so you can hold on with the other hand. And let's stretch to the other side. And then back up. All right, now we're going to do a balance pose to finish up our standing before we come back to the chair. So put that weight into one leg, hold on for support, pick up the other foot, turn the knee out. And you're taking that foot somewhere on the inside of your standing leg. Might be near the ankle, might be at the calf, or might even be above the knee for some folks. Try and turn that knee out, and then squeeze the buttocks in and get nice and tall. And if you got one arm free, reach it up and out. If you can let go with that other arm, you might give that a try, reaching up and out as well. Breathe in, breathe out. 2 more breaths. Take those arms down. Take that foot down. Now turn for a moment. We're going to do the other side, but before we do, hands on the back of your chair. Walk your feet, your hips back. Let everything get kind of, horizontal there through the arms and the spine. Take 2 or 3 breaths here. And then walk it in. Now you can turn yourself around so you can have the other hand close to the chair as needed. All right, I'm going to keep facing this way. All right, let's stand on the other leg. Bend that knee, turn the toes out. Turn the knee out and place that foot there on the inside of that calf or ankle. Squeeze in with those glutes, get nice and tall. And then you can take one or both arms and reach them out and up. Good. A couple more breaths. It's okay if you're touching down or falling out of this tree. No big deal. You're still challenging, improving your balance by simply practicing it. Even more so if you're a little wobbly and you tend to fall out of it. All right, take it down. Let's do one more time, stretching those hips back. And then we're going to sit back down in the chair and finish up with a little bit of a gratitude meditation. All right. So take a comfortable seat. Could be right back in the chair you've been using. If you have somewhere else you prefer to sit, you could do that. Even the floor is fine. But just come down to sit in that chair. Take a moment to situate the body, see if anything needs, a little attention, a little movement. You can close your eyes for this if you'd like, or you can stare just out at one spot. Let your gaze kind of soften. So just take this first moment as you're sitting still and just breathing in and out. And I want you just to think about, what does it mean to you when you hear the word gratitude? What comes to mind for you? What does that entail? We all may have slightly different concept. We may have a different thing that comes to mind. So that's great. That's okay. There's not just one answer to that question, but just continue another moment contemplating for you. What does gratitude look like? What does it entail, being grateful? All right. So one thing that's absolutely required in order for you to feel or express gratitude for something or for someone, the very first thing that has to happen is that you have to pay attention. You have to notice what it is that you're grateful for. So before you feel that feeling of gratefulness, that feeling of gratitude, you spent a moment, a split second, perhaps just noticing that thing, acknowledging it, bringing your attention to it. So attention, our attentive awareness is really where it starts, right? So we can't be grateful for anything that we're not aware of. So awareness is really the beginning of that gratitude practice. So I'm going to lead you through a couple of things that you might need to express some gratitude for. And then I'll give you just a few moments at the end to bring in your own sort of gratitude list if you want. So as you sit here, I want you just to notice your physical body. Maybe you feel the touch of your hands on your thighs or your feet on the floor or your seat on the chair. You can feel your breath moving in your body. And we just moved our body in all kinds of ways through our practice. So I want you to just take a moment to pay attention to your body. And in that attentiveness, send some gratitude. Be grateful for your body and all it does for you. Even if it's got a lot of aches and pains, injuries and issues, there's still so much about your body to be grateful for. And then I want you to take your awareness to your heart, your spirit, we could also say. And just take a moment to acknowledge that emotional side of you that feels things, feels joy and feels sadness. And I want you to be grateful for your capacity to feel emotions. Even when they're difficult, there's something there to be grateful for. The fact that we still can feel, we can still connect. So take a moment to be grateful for your heart. And take your awareness to your mind, your thoughts, all that intellectual, cognitive side of your being, and send some gratitude there. No matter what the thoughts are, don't worry about that. Just be grateful that you have a mind that you can use, that serves you, helps you get through and navigate each and every day. Now let's bring some awareness to our breath. So I'm often asking you to be aware of your breath, but let's spend this moment with our breath and send some gratitude to our breath, our life force, our energy, what keeps us moving and grooving. Each breath we take a gift, so send some gratitude to your breath. And of course, you could continue this gratitude meditation, and I encourage you to do so maybe throughout this week. Whenever you have a moment to pause, take a few breaths, and remember that gratitude requires your attention, requires your awareness. So, things in your own life, people, opportunities, places, anything at all might come up that you can feel grateful for. And I encourage you to pause, send your awareness to that, take a deep breath with it, and feel that gratitude. All right, so let's lift those hands to the heart and that classic expression of gratitude. Bow the head with thanks for all that we have. And thanks to AARP for bringing us together for these mindful movement sessions. I hope everyone has a very happy Thanksgiving. I'm grateful for all of you.
Thank you so much, Becca. What a season to be grateful for. We should be grateful all the time, but you certainly reminded us today of the things, sometimes the small things that we forget that we should be grateful for. And we
Yes,
thank you so very much this morning. And we hope that you have a wonderful, wonderful holiday with your family. And we hope that everyone has a wonderful holiday with their family. We have dropped a survey link into our chat box. So we're hoping that you will take a time out there and you will let us know what you think about our program.
absolutely.
And if you have any questions for Becca, you can still drop those in. And here's a quick commercial about our upcoming events. And don't forget, we'll be back again next Tuesday. So happy holidays to everybody.